Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good. Welcome to MySec Southfield. Please enjoy the food that is being brought in. That is from Tech Systems. If you have a moment, stop out and say thank you to Tech Systems for the food in the room. We do appreciate the hospitality. Just so everybody knows that if you're new and you're new to MySec, we have MySec meetings all over the state of Michigan. We have a MySec Jackson meeting that meets the second Tuesday of the month. We have a MySec Lansing, which meets the second Wednesday of the month, and of course MySec Southfield the second Thursday. There's also talk of a MySec Grand Rapids that might be starting up as well. So definitely to keep an eye out for posts on that. It's going to be on Slack. Also, if you're not already on Slack or IRC, if you go to mysec.us, there is links there that you can register and get signed up and start monitoring all the chats that are going on. We also have, in the local area, we have ISC Squared, which meets the second Tuesday of the month, North Oakland ISSA, second Wednesday, and then the Motor City and Lansing ISSA. So if you're interested in those, let me know, and I'll give you some more details. Be part of MySec. As I mentioned, sign up for Slack, IRC. If you'd like to give a talk, please see me. Can I get a quick show of hands of the people who do app dev? All right, so we're looking for speakers next month for last month. So if you're interested, I think somebody's given a talk before, so I'm looking for somebody. Reach out to me if you're interested.
Just talk about the top 10, it'd be great.
You see how I did that though? They're like the slow hand range. All right. We have a social event which is to be determined.
Yep, 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, which is the 22nd. Thursday, be there or be squared. Keep a look on the webpage as well as Slack, and we'll let you know. Actually, the best place is actually Twitter as well. Is there any other announcements around there?
Oh, it's great to be back.
We're looking for a blog post for the website, so if you have like an article or something, if you don't want to give a talk, just reach out to me on Twitter or something and we can get something posted on my site.
All right, so blog posts, if you have them, reach out and we'd like to get them posted. So whatever is a good security topic, send it to us and we'll get it posted. Any special events? No special events. All right, so we have introduction to bug bounties and we have Jason Caminsky. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey everybody.
Hello.
So, as was previously indicated, I'm going to be talking to you today about bug bounties. I'm going to be telling you about my first bug bounty, talking a bit about how bug bounties work in general and my experience with them, then taking the opportunity to answer any questions anybody might have. Before we do that, you might be wondering who is this guy talking to me right now? My name is Jason Caminsky. I'm currently a security analyst at CBI. I work in the Security Operations Center for about the last 2 months now. I think today on the day. Before this, I was a senior technical account manager and consultant at ERD Systems in California. It's a company that makes accounting and property management software. I got into security as just kind of a side thing before deciding that I liked it more than my day-to-day job there, and I decided to make a full-time go of it. As of August 2017, I'm a certified ethical hacker and researcher helmetier on Bugcrowd. Currently got about a whopping 3 bug bounties to my name, but 2 of them got me Hall of Fame recognition on the projects that they were involved. However, lest anybody find that too impressive, also note, I'm a bit of a noob. I am not an expert by any means on any of these things. I've been into information security for about the last 3 years. About 2 of those years have been kind of serious/intensive. However, one of my big motivations in wanting to give this talk was to show you don't have to be super experienced or anything like that in order to get into bug bounties. In fact, I would venture to say they're a very good way to get started in information security in general. They give you kind of a nice place to start, a nice safe environment to practice in, and a nice incentive because you can get paid for doing it. I feel like there is kind of often a mystique surrounding information security that tends to serve as a barrier to entry to a lot of people. I know it did for me. And so basically the takeaway from this is if I can figure out how to do this, I guarantee anybody here can as well. So I suspect most of the people here probably know what a bug bounty is, but we'll just cover that real quick. There anybody here who is not aware of kind of what bug bounties are? anybody who has a bug bounty that they've reported and gotten paid for. Oh, sweet. All right. So Wikipedia gives a good definition. Bug bounty is basically a deal offered by websites and software developers by which individuals can receive recognition and compensation for reporting bugs, particularly those pertaining to security topics. They are a rather old concept, actually. They were first introduced by Netscape back in 1995. The initial budget for the program was about $50K. However, today they are quite a thing. In 2017, Google alone paid about $2.9 million in bug bounties, and they are far from the only one. You have probably seen there have been some notable news reports of bug bounties. They're a pretty big thing. So I think they are a large part of the future of information security as well. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about the first bug bounty that I discovered, just to kind of give you an indication of kind of what scale you might be working at when you first get started on bug bounties. A lot of people, they look at the news, they see some of the really intense, huge ones that that are newsworthy, and they think, oh, that's way beyond me. You can definitely make an impact on a much lower level, and I want to tell you a little bit about a bug bounty like that. The one that I found is basically a server-side request forgery vulnerability. So the basic idea behind that is an attacker is able to find a vulnerability in an application that allows them to cause that application to send requests to another target on their behalf. Now there's a number of things you can do with that. You can use that as a way to obfuscate your identity. So you can basically make it look like attacks are coming from a source other than yourself. That can serve to damage the reputation of that application. The attacker can also exploit any trust that that application may have. For instance, suspicious traffic originating from what appears to be a legitimate application might escape notice that traffic coming from some sketchy website on the other side of the world would get. But perhaps most troublingly, this can be used as a way to pivot towards internal hosts that might not be otherwise accessible. For instance, if the attacker directs the vulnerable application to launch an attack against an internal IP address, that might grant the attacker access to something that they wouldn't be able to reach by means of the vulnerable application. The proof of concept that I used for this, in order to illustrate the vulnerability, makes use of SQL injection. Now, SQL injection is a pretty big topic. Is there anybody here who is not familiar with it? Didn't think so. Basically, the practical upshot is it's a way to trick databases into running malicious commands. And not in all cases, but in some cases, it can be delivered through a URL query string. Basically, the little bit in a URL that comes after the question mark. So the application that I targeted, the vulnerable function that it contained was basically an import calendar function. So the intended functionality of this function is basically, the application has a calendar within it, and there is a section where you can enter the URL of a shared calendar, like you might see with Google calendars, or you can find tons of websites that have like lists of U.S. holidays or holidays in other countries. You input a URL, and it has an ICS file, and the idea is you enter that in. The application will reach out to that URL, and it will attempt to take and import a calendar it finds there. However, the actual functionality behind this allows the user to enter a domain, IP address, port, and a query string. You can use HTTP or HTTPS, and the application will mirror the user input in its secondary request. Now, what I found was that if you just simply entered into the form in the application and submit, there was some filtering that would go on. When I initially tried to enter a SQL injection string into that, it wouldn't result in a secondary request. However, after a little poking around, I found that the application would follow web server redirects without sanitization. So in testing this, I noticed that the application seemed to be sending secondary requests. I wanted to get a look at the requests that it was sending in order to correlate my input with the output of the application. So I basically pointed it towards a web server that I controlled. I was able to get some good back and forth communication there. The idea occurred